This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we are having the session on automation testing. For this session, we are having the resource person from the HCL Technologies Private Limited is Suresh Patel. From last 6 to 7 years, he is very close friend of mine. And sir is having the experience. Currently, he is working in HCL Technology as a senior test engineer. Previously, he worked in IBM Technology Private Limited, and he also worked as an assistant professor in SCET Belagavi and handled different student projects and other things in the college. His area of interest are software testing, automation testing with the different tools. He has conducted many workshops on different engineering colleges for students. He holds MTech in computer science from Oxford College of Engineering, Bangalore. With this small introduction, without taking much of your time, because as we want to conclude the session as early as possible, because today is Sunday, so will not drag you for the a long time. So with this, over to Patel sir. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Halu, sir. Thanks again for everyone to joining. As sir already has given the introduction, so I am not going to repeat again. Just hi to everyone. Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about the automation testing tool. So, test web applications using Selenium title I have given here. First, web applications. Before going to Selenium, just we will get the detail about the applications in a minute. That is different type of applications, as everything you knew, different type of applications. In that, web applications, client server applications, or desktop applications. Why here we have mentioned like test web applications using Selenium means the Selenium should support only web-based applications. The clear? Selenium is used only for the web-based applications. It means the Selenium should not support the desktop applications. Examples like WordPad, Notepad, those are the desktop applications. It is not going to support that type of applications. Web-based applications, example Gmail, Facebook, or any other IT industry applications, web-based applications. If some applications will be Linux based also, there is no web based applications, means there is no GUI for that applications. For that applications, the Selenium is not going to support. So only it is mentioned here, test web applications using Selenium. Why automation is required here? Basically, the testing will be categorized into mainly manual testing and the automation testing. And again in manual testing, n number type of testings we will get, like unit testing, functional testing, regression testing, ad hoc testing, sanitary testing, smoke testing, like so and so. Basically, in the manual testing, it covers unit testing, functional testing, and regression testing. What will happen? For the regression testing, we will execute some set of test cases or test suite. Test suite means here collection of test cases. If 10 test cases I have written, then it's a combination of all 10 test cases or 1000 test cases is called a test suite. when new functionality is added or new module is added in our application. That time we have to do the unit testing, functional testing and regression testing. Means every time repeatedly we are going to execute the regression testing. The test cases are divided like unit, functional and regression. So these regression cases are quite common for complete application. Every time for each release or each build, we are going to execute those regression cases for every release, not only in one company, in every company, every release, it should be like this one only. So for that moment, repeated work is going on. Example, 50 regression cases are there in our application. So this month also any new build came, I have to execute all 50 cases. Again next 15 days, one more new release came or build came. That moment also I should execute all 50 regression cases. Like that it is going on. So to avoid that manual effort, that moment for the regression cases, we are going to use the automation scripts or automation tool because it is a repeated work. We have to reduce the manual effort that moment. How it is going to reduce? Means one time I have to execute, one time I have to write the test cases, write the scripts using so and so languages, so and so tools. Later I will come to that point. But one time we have to write the scripts, means code. And for this release, June, for example, June 1st, considers again the second bill came June 15th, third, July 1st, next so and so. Every 15 days, if I am getting a releases, new requirements, that moment I have to execute 50 or 60, whatever we have considered the regression cases. We have to execute all regression cases for every releases or every build. So one time effort is needed here. Once we have written for the 50 regression cases, the script is ready. Every time just we have to run that framework or run those scripts. That moment the automation is getting help to everyone in a company. So only it came into the market automation. Now we'll start to discuss about automation testing in detail. Just I have given the details like why the automation testing came into picture instead of manual testing. That's the point only I have cleared till now. Now we will go into the in-depth. Initially, we will consider one web application architecture. How the web application is ready, means it is a heterogeneous system. Means in front end, browsers are we can able to see only in front end. Any browsers, either it may be Firefox, Chrome, Safari or IE. And in server side, we can't able to see the server side, what is happening in server side. That is application server or database server, any DB servers are there, file system. Like that, it is all a combination. So only it is mentioned here a heterogeneous system. Any example you can take, Gmail, Facebook, anything. Gmail, we are going to log in as a username. Initially, we will enter the URL, then we will enter the username, password, then click on the login button. We will able to log in the Gmail. So that is browser side, front end side. But server side, it is hitting the application server, database server. In that server, it is stored our passwords and all. So it is all combination. It is so only it's called a heterogeneous system. Example for the front end side. Here I took just a Facebook example. How is it visible? Or every time when we are open the Facebook, it's possible, it's able to see the Facebook page. Means the UI should look like this: email or phone number, then password, are there in that page, and immediately for that HTML code is supported for that. That page is created using the HTML and source code is JavaScript. Consider just example. This is the Facebook. In the Facebook, UI is in front end, and that UI is created by the HTML, and the code is written by the JavaScript. You can use any languages also here, not only the Java. Just this is the example. Then server side, that's only I told. It can be written in any languages: PHP, Java, C Sharp, C, any languages. And how we are going to communicate with those servers means database. Database servers are available. Using SQL, we can connect with the database servers here. Only front end is accessible for the tests. For the test engineer or to test web applications or any application, only front end is accessible. Directly, we can't access the code for any pages or any applications. We can use only web applications, UI application. Sorry. So we can't directly test the server code and SQL because it is not accessible. Java, PHP, SQL, those are not accessible. Only GUI is accessible for our testing. So it is directly we can't test the server side. Front end HTML is accessible for us, and JavaScript is also accessible. Means what we are going to write to test the application, that is JavaScript. But what the developer has written to build that application is not accessible. That I mean. Then Selenium. What is Selenium here? It is a suite of testing automation tools used for web-based application. In the first slide only I told it is for the web-based applications. So we are going to test using the automation tools for the web-based applications. That is Selenium. And different types of Selenium, or also you can say as a different flavors of Selenium. That is Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, and Grid. 4 different flavors are there. Initially, the Selenium IDE came. When the Selenium came into the market, that moment Selenium IDE came. Later, WebDriver, RC, and Grid came into the market. These tools provide a rich set of testing functions, specifically geared to vary testing for all type of web applications. What these Selenium tools support means to test the applications, web-based application purpose. It provides a number of tools. Later we'll get to know what are the tools it can provide to test the web-based application. And advantage again, the Selenium test can be executed on multiple browser platforms. Multiple browser platforms means any browser you can use for the Selenium purpose. There is no restriction. You have to use only Firefox driver, only Chrome, only IE, not like that. Any browser drivers you can use. And here I have mentioned one link, that is www.openqa.org.selenium. This is the URL to get the information. This is actually official URL from the Selenium only. Here you will get each and every information, whatever the required for your Selenium purpose, you will get. Means a number of jars, standalone jars, server jars, any plugins, each and everything. By later I will tell you what are all there. So you will get each and everything by using this URL. If you want, you can note down this one. And here I have mentioned only 2 components out of the 4 flavors, Selenium IDE and Selenium WebDriver. We are going to discuss only with these 2, Selenium IDE and Selenium WebDriver. and Selenium IDE. IDE means Integrated Development Environment here, and this is outdated actually. No one is using right now. Just for the information purpose, I am sharing here this one. And this is Selenium IDE. It is a basically record and playback tool. It is record and replay. Means what you are going to do. In general, I will explain you just example. I want to enter, I want to log in the Gmail. So I am going to enter the username, then we'll click on the next button, then it will show the password text field, then I am going to enter the password text field, then again it will ask to click on the next button, then only I can able to see my Gmail login page, means home page. So whatever the steps we are manually going to do, that one only it is going to record and replay here. This is one. Selenium IDE is a Firefox extension, means it's a plugin just. We have to add into the Firefox. And here it is only, the Selenium IDE is only for the Firefox only. It not supports the Chrome browser, IE browser, any other browser. So only it is, no one is using in this Selenium IDE in the market. And then debug and set breakpoints, save tests in HTML, WebDriver and other formats. Here it is going to record that one in the HTML format. Selenium saves all information in an HTML format, or you can save in other format also. And by default, it is not asking actually any extensions also. You can save in any format also after recording. Each record, it is consists of three things. That is one command, target, and value. In the command, what you are going to do, that one you have to mention. I want to open the browser, then you have to mention that one. Then in that target, tell Selenium which HTML element a command refers to. Means example, text box or header or table or URL you can mention there, and value of that URL you can give. Use it for any command that might need a value of some kind. Type something into a text box. Here command, target and value is there. Example, open. I want to give the command like open. Then target, that is URL you have to mention, and the value of that URL www.gmail.com, that value you have to give here. That one only it is going to recording and doing the actions, and you can replay also. It is going to save, you can replay the same thing also. Start recording. How to record and replay with Selenium IDE. That is, start recording in Selenium IDE. Execute scenario on running web application. Means we have to start initially IDE. Then we have to give the command, target and value. These things we have to mention. So only it is here. The second point, execute scenario on running web application. Then once it is completed, you have to stop that recording, and later you have to verify and add assertion, replay the test. Once you stopped it, then you have to replay also, just for your testing purpose or verification purpose. You have to verify that one, replay and verify it. The limitations of Selenium IDE, as earlier I told, it is only supporting the Firefox browser. It is not supporting any other browsers. And here we will, it is not going to support the conditional statements like if, else, switch. These are the conditional statements we can't give here. And it doesn't provide the no looping structure, means for, while, do, while. These looping also we can't provide here. It doesn't support the data driven testing. Here data driven testing is there. In the last slide only I am going to explain that one. What is that data driven testing? Now here I told two components we are going to discuss. One is Selenium IDE and Selenium WebDriver. So explained about Selenium IDE, and keep in mind this is outdated. No one is using in the market. Only everyone is using the Selenium WebDriver. So here we will start to discuss about the Selenium WebDriver. It is a piece of program. Selenium WebDriver is a piece of program and it controls the browser by programming. Means we have to write the program. Example, if I want to launch a Chrome browser or Firefox or any other browser. So I have to write a program for that to launch the browser. Then it will take control over that browser. I will show demo also for that one. And it is more flexible and powerful. And it supports multiple browsers in multiple platforms. Earlier I told multiple browsers again, IE, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, any browsers and different platforms also. That is Opera, Android, iOS, like that. It is going to support with different platforms. What is Selenium WebDriver? It is an automation tool. Selenium WebDriver is an automation tool which can be used to automate web applications which have DOM structure, that is document object module or HTML page source. In the second slide only I have shown you the Facebook page, or if you are using any laptop or system, you can also open Facebook or Gmail, any page. Then right click on the mouse, you can click on the right, and at the bottom you will get inspect word is there. You can click that. You will get to know, means it's visible of HTML code as I have shown in the second slide only. HTML, this one. So it can be used for the web applications and which is having the HTML page source, and it supports the multiple programming language. It means for Selenium, that is tool actually, and to execute or to run our Selenium scripts, we have to write the code with different languages. For that, it supports the multi languages like Java, C Sharp, Python, Ruby, PHP, Perl, n number of multiple programming languages it is going to support. N number of different browsers also it supports. It supports even different platforms also, or OS also. So for these advantages only, multiple programming language, multiple browsers, multiple OS, different OS, for that one only this Selenium WebDriver got clicked in the market. Most of the companies are using the Selenium WebDriver. And one more major advantage here is open source. It is Selenium WebDriver is a open source. Means easily, means freely we can download it and we can use, any company can use. So that is the major advantage of Selenium WebDriver. What Selenium can do? It simulate the user actions. Simulate user actions means I am going to log into any page, Gmail, Facebook. So if I have written a code to log in the Gmail, that time it is doing those actions. It is going to, using Selenium, it is going to log in into the Gmail page. That is, every time I'm using the Gmail or Facebook, that is just for our example purpose. With respect to our applications, mean in the company, the people are using their applications and they have written for the code for their applications respectively only. Functional testing. Create regression test to verify functionality and user acceptance. In the starting, when I started the presentation, that time only I explained only this is for the regression test purpose mainly, or basically. and browser compatibility testing. The same script can run on any Selenium platform. Same script. Once we have ready with the script, you can run with any browsers also. The same script we can use in IE, Firefox or Chrome. For that also it can give the option. And we can do the load testing also here. Stress testing. Load testing means we can put more load on our application, whether it will get break or not. Example, in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, n number of users can able to log in. That time it should not get break. Live example means any in e-commerce applications, either Amazon, Flipkart or any e-commerce application. Sometimes for any festival or occasional purpose, they are giving the flash sale. Just it is for sometimes 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That time everyone want to book any needed things like mobile or any other things. That moment what will happen? They are going to put the more load on that moment. If it is 10, 11 o'clock it gets start and only 2 minutes, means on that 2 minutes only n number of people, crores people are going to log in. That time it should not get break or the application. That is the load testing and even stress testing. This is about Selenium. Means what is the Selenium, what we can do with Selenium, what are the programming language it is going to support, and browser supports OS. So that I have explained. Then how we have to configure this WebDriver, that is Selenium WebDriver. In our system, how we are going to configure? Basic requirements is initially JDK is required, JRE is required, means Eclipse. That is basic for our Java application. Means if you are going to use the script in Java language, that time this Eclipse is required. If you are going to use some other scripting languages, depends on that, we have to install those applications. Then Java language client driver, that is here seleniumhq.org and download. Here I have mentioned the URL. Means for the Selenium WebDriver, standalone server jars are required. That is only Java language client driver here. That is the jar file. You can download those jar files from the standalone Selenium standalone server, and third-party drivers, bindings and plugins are there. These are the jars and third-party drivers. Third-party driver means here for each browser one .exe file is there for each driver. When we are going to execute in Selenium, those third-party drivers are required. If I am going to use IE, that moment we have to download that third-party driver from this URL. Likewise, for each individually we can get the drivers for the browsers. Then only we can, means these are the configurations, basic requirements to get our application to run. Then plugins, different type of plugins are there. Depends on our requirement, we are going to use those plugins. Like examples, just Firepath, Firefox, Firebug, Apache Py, TestNG, like that. So many plugins are there, but each plugin depends on requirement only. We are going to use whichever is required for our application, for our testing. Those plugins we need to add. So these all things you will get in this URL, mentioned URL. In the previous slide I told, for each browser we need the third-party drivers. Actually, why we need means it works, that exe file works like a mediator between the WebDriver code and the browser. Google Chrome is a browser and I have written the code in the Java and using the WebDriver. So in between these two, it is working as a mediator, those exe files or driver files. It means if you have already installed a Mozilla Firefox, if you have already installed a IE, already installed a Google Chrome driver in your system or in your TPA, that is not the main. Like we have to, for the web driver, Selenium web driver, separate exe files are there. Gecko driver. Commonly, Mozilla Firefox need to be installed, IE and Chrome need to be installed just for our normal usage purpose. But for the web driver purpose, we have to go to that link and download this Gecko driver. This is the plugin. Gecko driver. This is a third-party driver. It is not a plugin. Gecko driver, and that is for the Firefox. Then, if you want to run your application in IE, that time you have to use the IE driver server. If you want to run in a Chrome driver, you have to download the Chrome driver. Like that for Safari or other example, other browsers also. You have to download these drivers, third party drivers from that link. And some plugins we are going to these plugins are required in the next upcoming slide. I will explain again that one. So in Selenium WebDriver, this is one major concept, that is locators. Locators, or we can say it as a static methods also. Different types of locators, or also you can call it as a static methods. N number of locators are there. Here we have mentioned the 8 type of locators actually. That is ID, name, class name, tag name, link text, partial link text, CSS selector, and XPath. These are the different type of locators or static methods. Why we are using this one? Whatever the GUI page is there, any application, any web application, when you open that application, means in the HTML, that time you can able to see the HTML values, attribute and other values, attribute value, ID, name, class, link text, partial link text, XPath, like this one only the HTML file contains. I will show you in demo that one. And it is WebDriver having different methods, that is find element and find elements method. What it does, it is returning the web element on which we can perform actions. It is going to return the web element. I will show you one example here. This screen is visible. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay, sir. Now, just for example, I took one web application. You can take anything, any web applications. So this is the UI actually. Employee UAN portal. I am going to show you. This is UI, and the backend of this UI has designed with the HTML code. We can able to access only UI and the HTML code, not the Java source code. Keep in mind how the developer has written, how the developer has developed. We can't access directly. Any web server we can't access. Based applications in UI and HTML only we can access. See here input is there, leave about it. This is tag name. Here mentioned ID. That's the only I was explaining. Different type of locators or static methods. ID, name, class name, like that. Here ID, name. You can click anywhere, not exactly with the any text field. You can click anywhere. You can able to see this type of attributes. So that find element or find elements method, it is returning this value. Find element method returns this element. How we are going to write in the next slide, I will explain that one. Means what we are doing, the action can be either click or send keys. Click is used for the mouse based action, send key is used for the keyboard based action. In simple, first I will tell, for that UIN application, manually what we have to do, if I want to open the UIN, means I want to log in to my UIN account or Gmail account. I have to launch the browser initially. I have to open the browser. Second step, I need to enter the URL. Once the page is loaded, I need to enter the username in the Gmail. Then click on the next button. Then I need to enter the password. Then click on the next button in the fifth step. Then our Gmail page will get open. So these all operations or steps, these actions can be performed using the Selenium only. Means we have to write the code what we are going into do. We are doing in the manual. Manually how we are doing the steps, same things we are going to maintain in our scripts. If buttons are there, that time click method is used. So only it is mentioned click is used for mouse based actions. Means by mouse only we are going to click that buttons, any button, login button, logout button, anything buttons. So that time it is a mouse based action, click method is needed. Send keys, it is keyboard based action. Means username I need to enter. That time I am going to use the keyboard. So by code, I will send my username for the Gmail login. So the send keys method is required. These two are the main methods for each operations. Click and send keys. If text field is there, we have to use the send keys. If buttons are there, we have to use the click. Different type of buttons will come, like radio button, checkboxes. For that, different methods are there again. Next is the same only, how to locate an element. Previously, I have shown you HTML code for the UAN login purpose. HTML code I have shown previously. So I have mentioned different type of locators are there. That is 8 locators are there. With any 8 locators, you can write to get the element. To get the element, you can use any locators. Here all 8 I have mentioned here. Just for your reference purpose, example purpose, I have written here web element equal to driver dot find element by dot id, by dot class name, by dot tag name. Inside these are the values of that attribute. ID is attribute, class name is attribute. These all are attribute or locators or static methods. Inside that, in HTML page, you will get the value. That one we have to mention. That time what will happen, this driver dot find element, it is going to return this web element. Like that we have to write by dot name, link text, partial link text, CSS selector and XPath. Here we get some idea, because here I have written HTML code is also there. Previously I have shown there. So that one only I have written here. Consider this is HTML code. By using ID locator, by using name, by using XPath locator, 3 examples I have written here. Like that you have to write with all 8 locators, whichever is convenient and whichever is good to write the application. That one we have to use. HTML code, what is here? The HTML code is div This is the tag name. This is the attribute ID, and value of this ID is coolest width UA. Then it is closed here /div. This is the HTML code for any element. So how we have to write the X path for this one? How we have to write? That is driver.find element. It is going to find that element. That input we have to give in simple. Which one I am going to find, that input we have to give here. By dot ID and coolest which you have. Once it is going to find this one, it is returning the find element, means we are pointing to the correct element. Like that, by dot name also you can write. Here input tag name is different here, which is the previous one, and locator is different here, name, and the value is also different here. So according to that we have to write. By dot name we have written locator name and the value of that one. Like that, X path. This is also one locator, and maximum we are using only X path only. Again, type of X paths are there. Different type of X paths are there, like relative X path, absolute X path, and depends on our requirement or depends on how the HTML code is available. If it is a dynamic or independent or dependent, depends on that we are going to write the X path. Absolute X path and relative X path are the two basic types of X path. Absolute X path means it is position based only, means exactly with that position only we have to write the X path according to that one only. And relative X path is like it searches entire HTML page and it will give the result, means it is finding the element. How we are going to write these things I will show in demo also. Here one example I have written. Previously I told how I am going to launch a browser, means manually how we are going to log into a Gmail page. That's the only that bit code I have written here in one file, Java class. Create a new instance of the Firefox driver, means I want to open the Firefox driver. So for that we have to write WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. If you want to use Chrome driver, that time you can use, instead of Firefox driver you can use the Chrome driver here. If you want to use IE Internet Explorer, you can mention that driver here. This is a class, just Firefox driver is a class for the WebDriver, and new is a keyword here. It is going to create an object, means Firefox driver is a class. It is going to create an object with the reference driver. Driver is a reference variable here. So it is going to create, the Firefox driver class is going to create a object for the WebDriver. WebDriver is an interface. So by this code, WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver or Chrome driver or IE driver, it is going to launch our browser. Whenever I am going to log in to Gmail, manually I am going to click on that Chrome driver or Firefox driver icon. But here this code only opens the browser. WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. This code is going to open the browsers. Then after that, what I want to do? I want to enter this URL. I want this page. I want to go to this page. What is that page? www.google.com. If I give like this driver.get and the URL, any URL you can give, Facebook, UAN or any URL. That is input, just it is. So it is going to enter, after opening the browser, it is going to enter this URL into that browser. And one more thing, while doing automation, means while we are launching the browser, if you have opened manually any browser, it is not going to control that browser. It is opening new browser only. I repeat, if already opened any browsers, either Firefox, Chrome, any browser you can consider, it is not going to control that browser. It is opening the new browser again, and next it is going to enter this URL. After that, I want to find here any element I am going to find. So that purpose I have given by.name q. Means I am going to search any, I need one element that in the name of q. So I have given like this here. If Gmail is there, I need to enter that value here, attribute value. So it is going to search this one. It is going to locate that element and returning that element. After that, element dot send keys. If I am going to input as VTU, I want to search VTU. In Google search button, I want to enter VTU. Then submit we have to click after entering. Earlier I told, if you are going to enter or using keyboard, if you are going to enter anything or you want to type, that time you have to use the send keys. So that what you are going to type or what you are going to search, that one you have to mention in the double quote using the method send keys. So it is going to write this word VTU. It is going to write. After that, manually what we will do after entering the VTU, we will hit the enter button. So same thing, to hit that one, again here we have to use the element dot submit. Then it will wait. In manually, if I have searched anything in the search button, to get the response, we have to wait. So for that also, here also we need to wait up to 10 seconds for a condition. This is the WebDriver wait equal to new WebDriver wait driver comma 10. This is actually synchronization topic. I will come into there in the next slides. That time I will explain that one, and this one also will explain in the synchronization. And if after searching, if it is equals VTU, Google found this one VTU, that time we have to print like pass. If it is not found anything, not with the word VTU, it is not find that element, then that time it is returning the fail. And to close the browser, in the first step what we did, we have launched the browser, WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox, to open the browser, to launch the browser, that is. Now I want to close it. So driver dot quit. If you have written driver dot quit or driver dot close also you can use to close the browser. If you have not used and if you have executed 10 Java classes like this, all 10 browsers will be opened only. To close the browser, we have to use the driver dot quit. In the previous slide, I have mentioned again, different methods are there. Those are like send keys, click, then clear. Why, when we are going to use this clear method? It's already entered data is there and someone is logged in. I want to remove that one. Manually, we are going to remove that text in that text field by using the backspace and all. So by automation also, we can use the method clear. So it is going to clear that one. After that, you are going to enter your whatever the stuff is required. Means if you are going to enter any text or any username and anything, you have to enter using the send keys. And find elements I have explained, and different navigations also. Means manually we will do forward button, next button, refresh button, like that. In automation also we can do that one. Driver dot get, it will get the URL of that, it will get the application, and it will launch that application. Driver dot get, or you can use navigate dot to also you can use for that. And if I want to click the back, that time you can use the navigate dot back. If you want to click on the forward, you can use the navigate dot forward. and refresh, like that n number of methods or navigations it provides. Selenium WebDriver provides like that. Other examples also. It's getting late actually. I will cover these slides in fast. Driver dot get title. If I want to means Gmail page logged in, then I want that title, means that moment we have to use the driver dot get table, get title, sorry, and using get text also you will get the text. It's in the UAN page. If employee provident fund, that text is there. We have to get that one initially and write the code according to that. Means expected text and actual text will come here into while writing the code. This get text, what will do? It will get the actual text. Actual text comes from the application. When we will run the application, that time it will come. Expected text is comes from the requirements. Depends on requirements. Expected text will come. Actual comes from the application when we run the application. And size also will get is selected. These is selected for the checkbox, radio buttons in any application. Example, male, female for the gender purpose. That moment you can use is selected. It returns Boolean values. If it is selected, it will return true. If it is not selected, it returns the false value here. Same like enabled also is enabled. It is also returning the Boolean values. Get attribute and get current URL. If I am already in the logged in page in the Gmail, that time I want to check the URL, whether by that also we are going to confirm whether I have logged in or not. For that moment, you can search any text on the login page like inbox, sent items, compose, any text you can take and find that one and write the code according to that. That moment, if it is executed, means if it is true, that moment you can say it as a means you will get the current URL and you are on to that page. And handling select drop down. Select drop down. Once drop downs also we can handle here in the Selenium script WebDriver. We can handle the drop down also by using the select by value or index or visible text. And if you select, you can deselect also those things by index, by value, or by visible text. If I want to select all, that moment you can use the get all selected options method. If I want to select only the first method, then first one, then get first selected option. Then is multiple. In the select whether it is a multiple or single. That moment you can use the is multiple method. It is also returning a Boolean value. Whether it is multiple. If it is multiple, it returns the true. If it is single, that moment it returns the false values. And it supports the pop-ups also. Whenever we are doing any work in the application, it is throwing any pop-ups. If I have entered the wrong password, wrong username, that moment it is showing any pop-up or any browser pop-up, JavaScript pop-up, any notifications. Those things also we need to handle. It's possible to handle those type of pop-ups also. If I want to upload in my Gmail, if I want to upload using automation also, you can upload, you can download also. And if I want to open the calendar and I need to enter the date, if I want to enter June 20th by my automation script only, those things also we can do. So for that, we hidden div pop-up we can call it as. And previously I told synchronization. When it will come into picture, synchronization means when you open the browser, after entering the URL, it is taking some seconds at least. How much the fast the your internet, still it is taking the time to enter the username. You enter the URL. After entering the URL, it will get load. It means it will get load. Then only you are going to enter the username. Then again you will click next button. Again it will take time. Then you will enter the password. Then you will click on the next button. Again it will take some seconds. So how how manually it is taking to response the time, the browser taking response for our actions, the speed of the application execution. That thing we have to cover or mention in our script. Like that we have to write in our script. Means it is matching the speed of script execution with the speed of application. If I am not given example, after entering the username in Gmail and click the next button, immediately if I pass password also by using my script, but that moment what happened, the page is loading still, so it is not going to enter. It is trying to find that password text field, but while loading it is not able to, and on that moment the page is not yet loaded completely. That moment my script or Java class will get fail. Only due to, it means the code is not wrong, only we are not waiting, means the code is not waiting to the page and get loads. So we have to give the delay that moment. There are delays between submitting a request and the receiving the response. Submitting a request and receiving the response, it should get load. Then only we can able to find the element to enter the password or username. That moment only we will do the next action. So we can wait until the response page is loaded. For that, different synchronization are there. 3 different options are there. Thread.sleep, implicit wait and explicit wait. These are the 3 different. This is hard coded thread.sleep. 2000, 3000, 10,000, anything you can mention here, depends on the application how it is going to load. But what will happen if it is hard coded, if you mentioned here 2000, but initially within a fraction of seconds, that moment only, if it found that element, unnecessarily it is going to wait, or more than this time it required to load that page. That time again it is going to fail. So usually we will not use this thread.sleep method, and implicit wait and explicit wait. These are the options, synchronization methods we are going to use in automation script, because here implemented using implicitly wait 300. This is the long value, and the time unit dot seconds we have to give. What will do? It will wait. It can be defined once and applies automatically to all find element or find elements in the script. Means only one time you have to use this one. You have to mention this one, and everywhere you can use. Like I have written for the 50 test cases, 50 scripts are there, 50 Java classes are there. Only one time you need to write this one in one class, either function class or some other class you have to write, and you can use that one implicitly wait. Here the advantage is, if it found before this time unit 300, before this one, immediately it will go to next page. It means it will not wait until the completion of this 300. That is the advantage. But in the thread.sleep, if it found early also, it should wait until that time completes. And one more is explicit wait. This one is used to wait a certain condition to be satisfied. Means it is going to search particular text or element. Means after login, Gmail login, I want to find the logout button. Next operation is I want to do the logout. Means my script is going to click on the logout button. It should go and find that element and click on that button. Until that, it should wait to become that visible, waiting for an element to become visible. Immediately it will not visible. Means after click on the next button, after entering username and password, immediately it will not get visible. So it will take time to load that page. That moment, once it is visible, that time it is going to use. Previously I told you, in the next slides I will explain that one. WebDriver wait equal to new WebDriver wait, that is the only driver comma 10. Here I have mentioned sign out. When this element found, this text is found for this text, this script, that time only it is going to click that button, click the sign out button. Until that it will get wait. By this we are going to avoid to fail our test scripts, our scripts. And this is different topic again in the Selenium WebDriver, that is TestNG. So why we are using means it is a creating and executing the test suite purpose. We have to create the test cases and test suites and generating the reports. HTML report it is going to generate by default TestNG, and parallel execution of scripts also. Here different annotations will come like add test priority. If 10 cases I have written, initially the first case I am going to give the priority, means which one you are going to give the priority, that one also you have to mention. Depends on priority, from started to 0 it will take and execute however you have written. But if you have mentioned the priority value, that time it will pick according to the 0 to upwards value only. Otherwise by default it will take a alphabetical order, A B C D E, like that, alphabetical order, if you have not mentioned any priority values. And if you want to execute some methods like some functions, before class only it should execute, after class only, or before method after method for each script, that time you can use this type of annotations also. Likewise different plugins will come, different scripts are there, and finally we will build one framework actually here. It is a set of rules or guidelines which will help in easy maintenance of scripts and easy creation of scripts. It framework means here actually in your lab, consider BCA lab exam, lab programs only. Each program in the syllabus they have mentioned 6 programs or 10 programs. For each program we are going to write separate files only. But framework means all those 10 scripts or Java files should get run at a time, and whatever the common functionalities are there, those we have to write in particular. We are categorizing particular in the separate Java classes. This one again I will explain directly in the code only. I will show one code here. After that I will show one demo, then we'll conclude it. This screen is visible to everyone. Hello. Hello. See here, I have created one project that is testing. Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. I have created a project like testing I have given. After all setup here I have mentioned, initially only our configuration is done. Then we'll create a package, different type of packages. What will happen if this portion only will come, if I am going to write only different for each test case, each Java file we have to write like this: demo check function and function class, Gmail login, main class, MTD login, as operator, as supervisor, like that. Each are the test cases, different test cases. Consider these all are my regression cases. But for each Java class here, every time I need to log into my application. Every time for each application it is mandatory. After that on only I can do any operations. So each time login is compulsory. For that what I have did means no need to write the every time to launch the browser to log in the application, because those are mandatory things. After login only you can do any operations. So those are mandatory things are common for each Java. That moment what we have to do, we have to write those function, those things in the function class. function class. So here we have written the code to launch public static boolean launch. By that, here we have written to launch the browser. For the Chrome driver, I have written here, and the path whatever is where the web driver is that third-party driver is located, that we have to give. See here, F workspace testing project testing source driver. There, this .exe file is there. Starting only I told for each driver, for the different driver independently different .exe files are there. Here I will show 3 I have mentioned here. For the Chrome, if I want to use Chrome driver, it is required. For the Firefox, Gecko driver is required. IE purpose, this one is required. So I am using these 3 drivers only. So I have downloaded only these 3 drivers and kept here. That path only we have to mention here. And here I was explaining every operations purpose. I want to launch the browser, that is first mandatory, second is login. So operator login is there. We have to write the common code in one function class only. Every time, no need to write in each class. If 10 classes are written here, no need to write every time to launch the browser. That is not the good practice. It means. So these are the mandatory fields. Mandatory code we have to write in the function class. And main class is also there. Here we can control our test cases. Example. Here I have written function class dot launch, means launch is a method written in the function class. So function class is function class dot launch. It will go to function class and it will find this launch method, and it will find the details, means complete code of that how to launch the browser. Depends on that, it will perform the actions. And function class dot close driver also return. And in the main class, what we will do, here I have written 1 to 12 cases, means total here if I have written 12 cases, I want to execute one by one or multiple or continuous one in other browsers also. Like that we have to, here we will get control in this main class. The basic thing is, here we will get control. Here I have mentioned the priority also. Earlier I told, what the priority you are going to mention depends on that one only, it will execute. For each case I have written the priority, and like that we have to create our framework. And test data dot property file I have created here. Means if I want to log in to the Gmail, that moment I have to give the username and password. Just for example, I have written here. In the code also we need to pass, that is hard coded. So that is not a good practice. So every time we will not give the hard coded value. It is fixed for the each time I need to log in with those credentials only. That time we have to give the value. That is that we have to create one property file, that is test data properties, and other things also here. You can read the data, write the data by using third thing also, means Excel also. But I have created here only in property file only. It is picking the data from here. We have to write the in the code we have to write that values, Gmail underscore password, Gmail underscore username. That time it will come here. In the code I will show you again that one. And XPath, whatever I have shown there, those things we have to write here. And if any generic values are there, gmail.com URL, and these under two are for my application, office application, we have written here. So www.gmail.com in the function class, see here URL I have mentioned here. This one next is commented, URL is there. So that one only it is there. URL means it is taking this URL only that moment. If I change in function class for my application office purpose, that time if I remove the comment, it will take md252 URL, this value it is finding where it is written. Here we have mentioned the path here in the C in the code. Property package, generic properties, generic underscore property dot properties. So this is the file generic underscore property. So there it will find the MDD52 URL. That time it will take this value. Directly I will go to one simple example, Gmail. Sir, is it okay? Another 5 minutes.
Sir, can continue, sir.
Okay, sir. So just one example in detail I will explain here. Earlier I told we have written the code to launch the browser in the function class only. So it is launching the browser there. And here we have written the XPath username underscore text field. That one, that XPath value you have to write here. This is the XPath value actually. Input at type equal to email. How to write XPath already in HTML page I have shown. If time permits, I will show you again how to write this one. And for that, one variable value you have to give username underscore text field. Directly, no need to pass this XPath value. Instead of that, we have to pass this variable for this value. So only we have written that one username underscore text field. After that, Gmail underscore username, that is here test data dot properties. In property file, test data dot property file, it is going to find where it is this value Gmail underscore username. Where is this? It will go to test data dot properties. Gmail underscore username is there, so it will pick this one Suresh dot Patel. It will pick that one, and different methods are there. Earlier I told send keys. So if you are going to type anything, that time you can use the send keys. After that, here after entering the username, I am going to click the next button. That time we have to use click button. Like that, after that, password we have entered, and again we have to click. Once it is logged in successfully, it will display the logged in successfully also. Might be it will not work because this Chrome is older version, whatever I have, and the newer version I can't able to install also because this is office laptop and admin credentials are required. Just I will run this application. See, now just I will run this application manually. I will not do anything. Means I will not open the browser. I will not enter the URL. I will not enter any username like that. Only half of the script it is working. So I will show you that one only. Automation means by automate only it is doing this operation after writing this code. Just see this one. It is launching the browser now. Manually I am not doing. Manually already one browser is opened and it will not get control to that browser. Earlier I told. So it is entered the URL also. Now it is entered the username. It is going to click the next button now. It is click the next button. After that it is getting fail actually only due to that version is not supporting that Chrome version. I need to upgrade that one. Like that only automation script will get work. Automation testing will work. This is the framework I have shown in urgency only I told. And what in the configuration time I told we need a number of jars and all. These are the jars. See here. It will give the once you download it, it will give all the jars. And again, depends on requirement. We need to install the jars also. We need to configure those jars. And to prepare the framework, a number of different types of frameworks are there in the market: record and playback, data driven framework, function driver, and page object model. And depends on the application, those people, the people will use the different framework. If data related maximum is there, NM maximum means bank applications, that moment they can use the data driven. If it is function related means small framework, that time function driven. Page object model framework, usually hybrid framework everyone is using in the market. Hybrid framework means it is consists of these all, not the record and playback. Leave about this record and playback. Data driven, function driven, and page object model, it is a combination of all these three. That is hybrid framework. Everything means it is related to the application, related to any type of application, web-based application, that time that hybrid framework supports. Usually everyone will do the hybrid framework, create the hybrid framework only. Okay, that's all, sir. I thought to show how to write XPaths and how to find the element in using HTML actually, but it's already getting late for you people. If you say okay, I will show it in under 2 minutes. Please, sir.
Audience, what is your opinion?
Otherwise, we will conclude. And if any queries, please you can revert.
No, sir. Please you continue, sir. Another 2 minutes is not matter. And if you take more 5 minutes also, we are ready to continue with you, sir.
Okay.
Please.
Thank you so much. So, see here. This is UAN page. Okay. Any web page you can take. In the code, I have explained how to launch the browser. Consider now the browser is launched using our automation script only, and it is entered the URL also. So now we are in this UAN page. Manually, what we are going to do, we need to enter the UAN manually, and password also we have to enter, and captcha also we need to enter. Then we'll click on the sign in button. That one only how to do in the automation. Those values we need to pass in the script, but directly it will not come and enter here only. In the enter UAN text field is there, it will not directly come and enter here. For that, HTML code is there. We have to inspect that element, and that one we have to give in our code. We'll show in example here. This is double. Directly I will go to better Gmail only. Okay. Here we need to enter the UAN. So we have to inspect the element, and to inspect the element, the different browsers, different methods are there. In Chrome, right click on the page and click on the inspect, and even Firefox also same, but the Selenium WebDriver supports some plugins. Earlier I told FirePath and Firebug. Those are the plugins are required to inspect the element. In Chrome directly we can click on the inspect, and IE browser press the F12 button. I forgot to tell that moment. To inspect the element, different browsers, different methods are there. For IE, press F12. That time HTML page will get open. And for the Chrome, click on inspect. And even for the Firefox, same thing happens. Click on the inspect. Otherwise, you can use the plugins also, FirePath and Firebug. Now, see here. UAN is a text field. Yes. In the HTML code, sorry, they have written ID equal to username here. Yes, ID equal to username or name equal to username, placeholder, enter UAN, different. What I have to do, I have to find this element. See, when I move the cursor to exactly this location, input ID equal to username, that time it will get highlighted. This left side, enter UAN text field will get highlighted. So like that, I have to write the XPath for this one. How to write the XPath means // tag name you have to give. This is the tag name. See here, input, and at the right side, is it visible? 1 of 7 it is showing. Why means in only I have written input here. This tag name it contains, this HTML contains the 7 input tags. 7 input tags. So that moment the script will get confused. Out of 7 where I have to enter the UAN value. So exactly uniquely we have to find. After that, like that we have to write. // means it is searches in the entire HTML. Input is a tag name. At symbol I will use, that is attribute symbol. That is here the attribute is ID. I will take ID now. You can take name also. You can take placeholder also. Anything. ID. And the what is the value of that ID? Username. And in single quote also you can write, or in double quote also you can write, and it is case sensitive. Once I write the XPath, it should get highlighted. See, enter UIN text field is there, it will get highlighted. If it is correct. If it is wrong, it will not get highlighted. See, it is not highlighting. I told it is a case sensitive. Here username I have written all smaller case. So N is a capital here. See now. Earlier in this box it is showing 1 of 7. Now it is showing 1 of 1. It means only it is identified uniquely. Like that we have to write. Once we enter, after entering this XPath, after writing, once we hit just enter button, it will get highlight these two. HTML also it will get the color will get highlight, and in the UI page also it will get highlight. It means we have written the correct XPath. If I will do the mistakes now here, I will remove one code. Now see here, I am entering my enter button here, enter button, but it is not going to highlight that one. Why? It is wrong. Now it is going to highlight. It is case sensitive also. You can write the value in double quote also. It will get highlight. Earlier I have written single quote. If you do any mistake, that time if I remove the at symbol, it will not get. At symbol is an attribute symbol. ID is the attribute, and the value of that attribute is ID. And instead of ID, I will write name. You can write any values, whatever the possible is there, you can write. Sometimes what will happen? Duplicate also, if you found, instead of here 1 of 1, 1 of 2, 1 of 3, 1 of so on, found. That time uniquely you have to write. Like that we have to write. One more example I will show just for the password. What for each and every operations, whatever you want to do, any actions, if you want to enter the text field, or if you want to enter click the buttons, for each and every operation you have to write the XPath. This is the mandatory, this is the main thing actually in the Selenium. Now I will write one more for the XPath for the password text field. // it means this entire Excel. If you are using also laptop or system, please you can also try. Then input, that is tag name, in the braces at ID is there equal to the single quote I will write password. Okay, now it is highlighted. Like that, you can write for manually what you are going to do, same thing your script should do. That is the only Selenium here. Selenium script means how we are going to work on Selenium, or how we are going to create our framework means manually what we are doing, our script should do like that. That is the only. And by practice, we will get to know, we will get to write the XPaths and all. If I want to write sign in, you can write, and different locators I told, 8 locators are there. By using that, you can write the XPaths, and those things only in the code we have to mention like this. After writing the XPath, give one value variable name for that one and pass that one username underscore text field I have written there. So that one only you can pass here. It will go to this property file. It will pick that value. That is the only in how to write the XPaths and all. That's all, guys. Dr. Halur, sir.
Yes, sir. Any
Yes,
questions?
sir. Any
Any
questions,
questions
please?
from the audience, participants? Thank you, sir.
Sir, no questions.
Yeah. Thank you, Kalal, sir. Suresh, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Sunday we disturbed you.
No, sir. It's my pleasure to work with
So
you and for your faculties.
thank you, sir. It was wonderful session. Okay, it was like a hands-on session kind of thing. Theoretical as well as practical. Also, you give the demonstrations. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to thanks to everyone.
Thank you, participants. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.